morning, Southeast Texas, Southwestern Louisiana, and on the World Wide Web at King's Country, kingscountry.net. Jim King back to do my thing. It's a TGIF edition of the Jim King of the Radio Show. Come on in. Don't miss the TV show this weekend. I'm proud to report major, magnificent milestone this weekend, 2 of them. We're celebrating our 980th episode, just 20 away from the 1,000th episode of the Jim King of the TV show that started almost 20 years ago. And it's also a celebration of our recent surge in social media. In the last several months, I've started uploading short videos onto my YouTube channel and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. My numbers have exploded from pretty reasonable numbers before we started doing this to through the roof, folks. Close to 2 million combined on Facebook and YouTube alone. So we do appreciate you streaming us and sharing and all that stuff. And I've got some audio samples coming up from our big extravaganza this weekend. You stay right there. And thanks for streaming King's Country.
Sitting on the front step, little white suitcase, hearing that diesel before it hit the front gate.
Have you ever really listened to Garth Brooks' song, Beaches of Cheyenne? Listen to it all the way through. And tell me he's not saying Meaches of Cheyenne each time. He always says Meaches of Cheyenne when it should be beaches. Anyway, somebody pointed out that in Brooks and Dunn's song, I Am That Man, it sounds like he's saying, I am Batman. Judge for yourself. King's Country, kingscountry.net with Faith Hill covering a Janis Joplin tune, Peace O' My Heart. I live here in Southeast Texas, and if you ever come to our neck of the woods or if you reside here, I guess you know about the Museum of the Gulf Coast over there in Port Arthur. She's the #1 attraction upstairs in the Music Hall of Fame. Yeah, you can see her displays as well as the Winter brothers, Edgar and Johnny Winter, and all the Beaumont boys, and George Jones, and my friend Don Rollins, David Varnado, they're all there. Check it out. Tell them King of the Road sent you.
Long live the king!
King's Country at kingscountry.net. Thanks for listening, and I hope you'll watch this weekend, because I've got a killer episode of the Jim King of the TV show. I do every week, but especially this week, because we've got a double-barreled milestone to celebrate. We're talking the 980th episode of the Jim King of the TV show. Plus, we've been surging in social media recently since I started uploading my shorts to YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and they're just going viral. A lot of them. Tens of thousands of views, and we do appreciate it. And that's why we're doing a whole episode, actually the first 2 segments from it this weekend, plus a music video of the week from Tulane Summer and Tim Bird's in the Royal Spotlight. But here's the audio from one of the segments from this weekend show. Don't miss it on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and YouTube. Welcome back as we celebrate our 980th episode and our recent surge on social media. Take a look at the stats on this post we shared following the recent passing of Johnny Rodriguez.
And you had a band called the Spocks, huh?
Oh, no. Who told you about that? Yeah.
I read it.
It was probably Judy. No, but I used to like watching Star Trek.
You're a Star Trek fan?
Yeah, man. And so me and some guys from my hometown started Mac Tristan and Jimmy Woodley and Dusty Parker. It was 4 of us because there was 4 Beatles, so we figured it would be 4 of us. Okay. Mm-hmm. But we weren't quite as good as the Beatles were.
This classic clip from our George Jones tribute quickly soared to 19,000 views on my Facebook Reels. Family, friends, and colleagues of the late George Jones recently paid a very touching tribute to him at a packed Benoist Lewis Hall in the Possum's old hometown of Vidor, Texas. Those in attendance included George's oldest sister, Helen Scroggins Jones of Wildwood, Texas.
Well, I love my brother because he always looked after me and seen that I didn't need nothing.
Tell about his great sin.
Yeah, and I love to hear him sing up till he died.
And tell him about on your daddy's grave. You're going to tell that.
And I wanted the one that wrote Watching from the Window Up Above. My husband loved that song, and so I put it on his tombstone.
You want to thank everybody?
Huh?
You want to thank everybody?
Thank y'all.
Don't miss this classic, Jim. 18-year-old Mark Chestnut auditioning for the Charlie Pruitt Country Music Show in Beaumont. It's already racked up over 400,000 views and still going strong.
Right now, we're going to get a young man from Beaumont, Texas up here. His name is Mark Chestnut, and he's dressed like a bull rider, I think. And come on up here, Mark, and do your number, son.
Sure enough, about closing time, that stormed out of my mind, and I end up with some honky-tonk special I found.
We are celebrating our 980th episode, along with the king-size surge on social media. And it's no surprise that Beaumont's legendary Winter brothers are also making waves with our exclusive content. Johnny Winter grew up in a musical family in Beaumont, Texas. He shared with his brother Edgar an interest in music, especially rhythm and blues and jazz. Johnny learned to play the clarinet at 5 years old, followed by the ukulele at 8 and the guitar at age 11. Starting in his mid-teens and through his early 20s, Johnny was touring with Gene Terry and the Downbeats and working gigs in Texas and Louisiana with his own bands, Johnny and the Jammers, the Crystaliers, and the Black Plague. Enjoy this clip of Johnny and Edgar Winter performing Tobacco Road back in 1970. A ton of folks have enjoyed this clip featuring rising Americana sensation Jack Barksdale. It's pulled in around 100,000 views on my YouTube channel.
I'm from Fort Worth, and I play a lot of shows there with a guy named Guthrie Kennard, who's a really great musician, singer, songwriter. He has this song about pennies, and one day he was telling me that he played it at a show and people started throwing pennies at him. So I said, I guess we have to write a song about $100 bills. And here it is. It's called $100 Bill. I got $100 bill in my pocket, got a 3-hour gig tonight, I'm ready to rock it. Come on tonight after the show, got another $100 bill, I'm ready to go.
Thanks for being part of our recent social media surge. We couldn't have done it without you. We truly appreciate you streaming, sharing, and subscribing to our content and watching this TV show.
King of the Road.
King's Country at kingscountry.net. I'm Jim King. Thanks for listening. We've got them stacked up for you, musically speaking, with Big and Rich on the way. Got Her Highness Mary Chapin Carpenter. How about some Keith Urban? Before you know it, it's a TGIF edition of the Jim King of the TV show and radio show, which I'm doing right now. Temporarily, just for another couple hours, because I like to sit here and just listen to the tunes with you. That's why I'll shut my pie hole and be right back in a flash right after these with the Pete Scoble Band. Hearts I Leave Behind, or My Name Ain't Jim, King of the Road.
The King of Country.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen a man in a crown.
Jim King.
King of the Road. King of the Road in New Jersey.
It's live. It's radio, folks. It's King of the Road. This would not be possible without the grandfather of all radio, Marconi. Gigliano, isn't that his first name?
Guglielmo.
Okay, this transmission would not be possible without the efforts of him. We are at the site where he actually made the first transmission. Marconi, very famous moment, 1899.
That's right, 1899, and they transmitted right to 1907.
You know, they have a little museum right next door. I stood at the Marconi booth, and I swear the ghost of Marconi was looking over my shoulder. I felt a strange presence.
Yeah, he was in fear and trembling, thinking of what happened to his invention.
Yeah, look where it progressed to, King of the Road.
You're listening to The Radio.
Play a lot of Mark Chestnut here, and he's all over my TV show once again this week because we're doing our heavy hitters. Yeah, it's the social media clips, the viral social media shorts and reels that I have uploaded to YouTube and Facebook have gone through the roof. Nearly 2 million views. So we're highlighting that on this week's show, as well as celebrating our 980th episode. Tim Burge will be in the Royal Spotlight, by the way, and halfway through the video, we'll re-air a little ditty called Till the End of My Life. Two-Lane Summer, back by popular demand. But first, we'll recognize our recent viral explosion, King Size. Here's another segment. Let's get the party started with this viral clip of a young Mark Chestnut.
You're going to like this fella, because he's a good one. He's 18 years old, and he comes from South Park, Texas, and his name is Mark Chestnut. Come on out here, Mark, and give it to me.
Of course, Mark ended up honky-tonking his way all the way to Nashville and the top of the country charts numerous times. A recent Johnny Rodriguez short quickly racked up 114K Facebook views and climbing.
You're the biggest cat to play here in a long, long time.
Well,
we're really proud to have
I'm
you
just
here.
a cat.
But you've had a long, long career, discovered by Tom T. Hall, huh?
Yeah. Actually, that's the first guy that I in the country music business with. I started playing guitar in his band when I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
And then from there, so next thing I knew, here I am right here today talking to you.
We are celebrating our 980th episode and our recent king-size blow-up on social media. Like that clip of the late, great Mickey Gilley that went viral the very first day.
Don't hold that against me. You probably know, too, that I have two famous cousins I grew up with, right? Jerry Lee Lewis in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and, of course, Reverend Jimmy Swaggart. Don't hold that against me. But in 1957, when I made my first recording in the music industry, I had tried to follow my cousin Jerry Lee Lewis into this music scene. He had a whole lot of shaking at the time. He came into Houston. He was traveling with Johnny Cash and Sonny James. I get to run around with him. I was working for $1.25 an hour. So I tried to follow my cousin Jerry Lee into the music industry. I made a big mistake. I should have followed Reverend Swaggart. He made more money than me and Jerry Lee Lewis put together. Tax-free.
Then there's that T.G. Shepherd clip that quickly climbed over 216K views.
I think it's really cool that you knew Elvis Presley. I'm standing next to a guy that knew Elvis. You've probably been to his home in Memphis.
I lived at Graceland for 7 years.
Did you really?
I sure did. Yeah.
Was he still alive then? Or?
Oh, no. He was, very much so. I met Elvis when I was 15 years old at a skating rink. He took me under his arm, and we became friends. And matter of fact, he gave me my first tour bus. Just wrote a check.
1976.
Hey, you've done your homework.
It's a special King of the Clips episode celebrating our recent viral surge. Who can forget that one from Mark Chestnut that's almost at 600,000 views?
I'm nervous. I'm scared to death right now. I've been on this show about 5 or 6 times, and I just about started getting comfortable with it, about all these cameras and things, and then I have to sing in front of George Jones.
Well, you're doing a good job, son.
Oh, thank you. George has always been my main inspiration, I guess, because my daddy grew up here in Beaumont, and George spent a lot of time here, living here. And back in the 50s, Daddy and George were buddies. They were hanging around together and running the beer joints around here. And so I've always been fascinated with George Jones, and I met him back in the 80s.
Yeah, I told you Mark Chestnut is all over that bad boy. Don't miss it on Fox 4, the CW, Strike TV, and YouTube. It's our little thank you to you for helping us blow up with social media and putting up with us all this time. Having fun. Well, actually, more fun than I've ever had doing this thing. But you keep between the ditches. I'll do the same. Have a wonderful weekend. I do appreciate you tuning in. We've got a lot more tunage on the way, and we'll talk to you soon on King's Country.